Assalamualaikum friends. Thank you very much once again for joining my channel today. I'm extremely delighted because I had a very impressive session for IELTS speaking tips with Mr. Sinan from Turkey. He's one of an IELTS expert teacher living in Turkey. So let's not waste our time. We'll directly move forward to the conversation which we had with Mr. Sinan. In the description box, you will find his details and his contact numbers and everything else. Thank you very much. Let's have the conversation. Hey everyone, welcome once again to our channel with another collaboration with an IELTS expert. This time we are having an expert guest from Turkey and we are welcoming Mr. Sinan today with us. Hello sir, how are you today? Assalamu alaikum.
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing very good sir. What about you?
I'm well, fine as well. The weather is good in Turkey. Everything is going
Oh,
fine, so we are happy. It's summer in
that's
Turkey now.
great. That's great.
Yeah,
So first of
yes.
all, we'd like to say a big thanks to you for joining our channel
Not,
as a host, as an expert host.
not at all. It's a duty, to help the students. So we are volunteer to do that kind of things, for the students, for the
Perfect.
sake of
Fine.
making
So let
students
me
happy. Yes.
inform our viewers that today we are going to talk about IELTS speaking tips from Mr. Sinan. And over to you, sir. Yes.
Yes, yes. Now I'm gonna talk about some hints, some important hints about speaking, give an idea to the students. In fact, there are many points to discuss in speaking, but I should say that some of them are really very important. The students should know everything about those, and they should prepare themselves accordingly. And I should clarify another point that I'm going to talk here for the students who are aiming to get 6.5 and over. So we are not really very interested in the ones that aiming to get 6.5, and below. Okay, but we are interested in the students that all our explanations are related to the students who are aiming to get 6.5 and over in IELTS exam. As I said before, there are many points to be to discuss, but I decided to talk about top 5 of them. Those 5 of them are really very important, and if the students follow these instructions, they will be able to pass the exam. Let's say pass the speaking part of the exam. Now, firstly, I should say that grammatical range and accuracy is very important in IELTS exam. What we mean by this, using the grammatical points properly, plus
Mhm.
knowing all about tense parallelism. That's one of the points that students generally make a mistake with. Tense parallelism is very important. What we mean by this, when we need to use past tenses with past tenses, when we need to use present tenses with present tenses, and when we need to use past tense and present tense in the same sentences, then we should know the rules very well.
Right.
From my experiences, what I observed, this is one of the main points that students are failing with. Another point is this: that students should note that, again, related to the grammatical range and accuracy. The point that students are failing with is the usage of gerunds and infinitive and the conjunctions. The students, if they would like to get over 6.5 and over 6.5, they should be very good at using gerund and infinitives and the conjunctions. And they should not use the simple sentences. They should be using compound sentences, complex sentences, and compound and complex sentences.
Right.
Another hint for the students, they should know that the more economic they are while using the grammatical structure and the vocabulary, the better their English is. What I mean with this, to be able to do this, the students should well know the reduction in English. Reduction in English is one of the key subjects that the students need to learn, need to study. Now, the second point is lexical resources.
Mm-hmm.
Now, IELTS expect the students, again, the ones that aiming 6.5 and over, IELTS expect the students to be good at the usage of the vocabulary, the lexical sources. They should know the lexical sources very well, and they should be able to use it effectively. What I mean by this, or what we mean by this as the teachers, we mean that they shouldn't be using colloquial usage of the words. There are many words in English, and they should be using academic or standard English words. So they shouldn't be using any language that they learn in the street while they are talking with their friends, etc. They should be using a standard language vocabulary, or they should be using academic advanced vocabulary while they are talking.
Right.
Another point is this test. They should be knowing the variety of words, alternative words for each word. For example, they should be knowing, they should be able to use succeed and achievement, or enhance, improve, develop, all in an exam or in a writing or in speaking. They should be able
synonyms
to
of the words.
yeah,
Right.
the
Synonyms of
synonyms, and sometimes the antonyms as well. The antonyms, they should show their ability that they know the antonyms of the words as well. For
right.
example, if they say develop, they should know underdeveloped as well. Making that
Perfect.
negative.
Yes.
So
Right.
to be able to improve this, the students are expected to do a lot of reading to be able to improve this ability. If they don't do a lot in reading, they won't be able to use the variety of the vocabulary in the exams. Another point that the students should know well is the fluency and the coherence. Again, by coherence, what we mean, both the meaning and the structure, coherence of both the meaning of the structure of the sentences or ideas. What we mean by saying fluency, the students should do less repetition while they are talking. They should be clear, they should be concise, and they should be explaining their aim very well. While they are talking, they shouldn't be hesitating a lot. They shouldn't be hesitating in finding the relevant words or relevant subjects, etc., related to the topic they are talking. So that's another point
Correct.
that they should be very good at. They should be able to develop the topic well. They shouldn't be finding it difficult and speak coherently and cohesively while they are talking. The other point worth mentioning, I can say, the pronunciation. The pronunciation
Yes.
is very important. Why pronunciation is very important? To be able to tell yourself, to be able to aim telling yourself clearly to the interviewer or the opponent. While you are talking to somebody, if your pronunciation is not good, the opposite person, the person you are talking to, may not be able to understand you well. That's why you
True.
have to be very good at pronunciation. Together with pronunciation, the intonation and the stress is very important. In English, stress sometimes changes the meaning. or intonation sometimes change the intention that you are using any word, just by using a stress or an intonation differently, you may either ask a question or you may just give a statement, you may just talk about a statement, you know.
True. True, sir.
Yeah, to improve the pronunciation and pronunciation skill, the students should do a lot of listening. Generally, they do a mistake. What I observe from my students, they watch some films on TV, especially the American action films or any other action films, etc. The language used in action films, the language used in Hollywood films, generally are slang. You know, they use slang, they use
Yes.
colloquial languages, etc. So those films won't help them a lot. So to improve them, they can either in the internet or when they ask their teachers or together with their books, etc. Some CDs are proper CDs are given. So they should again focus on the standard English. And another point that I should be clarifying here is this: no matter what accent they are using, they can either use American, they can either use Australian, New Zealand, or British accent, but they should be good at that accent. They shouldn't be hesitating which to learn. The examiners are not penalizing the different accent. They just ask you to speak the any accent very well.
Right.
Now, yeah, the last point that I should mention is this. Uh, Again, this is according to my observation from my students after they come from the exam or while we are studying with them. What we see, they fail into being stick to the subject. For example, you ask anything about their country, they start from their country and they end up with America. So that's a mistake. They should take. IELTS examiners are paying quite a lot of attention on this stat as well, uh, because while they are starting with a point, they should be ending with the same. So to be able
Same point. Yes.
yeah, to be able to do that, the students uh, should create some stories of themselves, or they should really do some writing well, or short mini stories. By writing mini stories or short paragraphs, etc., they can improve that kind of abilities. Uh, and they should also make, to be able to improve that, they should also make some studies via some materials. They should read in the internet or they should buy some books and read the reading passages there, etc. Another point that the students should be paying attention is this: that IELTS exam is sensitive with some of the certain subjects, sensitive with the environment, sensitive with the human rights, animal rights, women rights, child labor, education, and racism.
Mhm.
So when we go through the exams, we see that majority of the questions are based on these subjects. Let me repeat them again: environment, human rights, women rights, animal rights, child labor, education, and racism. The students should study these subjects very well. Uh, I can recommend some material for these. They can read economics or the website of it. Nature.com. Many of the exam questions are from nature, are taken from Nature.com, and Britannica.com, three main subjects that sources that I can recommend to my students. Yes, I don't know if that's enough. If
Yeah,
you have
that's
any
enough, sir.
question,
Thank
if you
you
have any
very
question, you
much.
can ask. If
Uh,
a student is watching, they can ask any question
well,
they want.
mm, oh,
Yeah, for
well,
speaking.
they'll definitely ask in the comments box, or maybe they can contact you directly, because we'll be posting
Yeah.
your contact details in our
Mm,
description box as well as
mm,
on our
mm.
Facebook page. So
Yeah,
we are very glad.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, sir, we are
yeah. I'm
very glad
listening. Yeah.
that you have
Mm.
shared all of your tips. Mhm. Thank you very
Yeah,
much for
I should
joining
add
us, sir.
another point that how to behave during the exam, etc. Those are very technical. Those are very simple things that their teacher will tell them. So that's why I haven't focused on them. I just wanted to give the prior ones. These points that I have mentioned are in fact true for writing as well. You know, they should be paying on the
Yes, true, sir.
yeah, paying attention to these points while they are working on improving their writing ability as well. All right?
Right, sir. We'll definitely have another session with you about writing. Hopefully, inshallah, if you're free. And
Hopefully, yeah.
so,
I'll be
thank you
glad
for
to help you. Okay, I'll be glad to help the students. All right,
my pleasure,
to
sir. We
transfer
are
our
extremely honored to
experiences.
have you on board with us. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a
Thank you.
lot.
God
Thanks a
bless
lot.
you, sir.
Enjoy yourself. Bye.